Hello, I am live. I love that now on my recommended page on YouTube. It's like 10 hours of pure white screen, 13 hours of pure white screen. I got 10 hours of pure white screen playing right now. If I have a screen there, I might as well use it. So, one of my favorites, one of my YouTube faves, one of my just not even a YouTube fave, just like one of my favorite people in general, I guess. Um, Hemi from Bohemian Stars and Ocean Heart Readings has recently made a deck, and I purchased said deck, and it arrived today, and I forgot all about it. I think I thought about it a few days ago, and my dad was like, "Oh, there was a package for you outside," and I was like, thinking like, "Is this that thing I ordered off of Instagram?" I ordered one thing off of a YouTube ad; it never came. I participated in a GoFundMe for a thing I saw in an Instagram ad. I ain't got my thing yet. This last thing I ordered on Instagram, I didn't get, so I might be done with YouTube and Instagram ads because the stuff just never arrives. I have a fortune right here. I don't know where it came from. Hey, Holly, how you doing? Can you see that? Oh, it almost focused. Focus. I just looked down and I saw it. I was like, hold up. Wait, what? I feel like it's so bright today. I feel like it is so bright. 19, 37, 38, 14, 26, and 41. I am going to open this box and pull those cards. And the fortune says commitment is what turns a promise into reality. And that actually makes me think of the promise in the Magical Dimensions Oracle cards and activators. I actually thought about that deck earlier today or yesterday. Um, but the promise is like soulmates, something, something. And I think the promise actually came out one of the last few times I used that deck. Commitment is what turns a promise into reality. So I'm going to open it up. These are the card backs. And I'm just going to go ahead and pull these cards. Not even going to look at them. I'll pull them from the top though. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41. This is interesting. I could. The promise feels like it's kind of birthright-y. Kuja Chagalia, self-determination. This is one of the Kwanzaa candles. So it's actually the Winter Oracle. Um, and so there are some like wintertime vibes in it, but of course it can be used and applicable any time of season. So going in order, the cards, the lucky numbers associated with commitment is what turns a promise into reality. First, it is harvest. Ooh. There you go. Is that an elephant? Shout out to Lord Ganesha. It is. Love that. So we got harvest and then arrival. Masks, personal celebrations, full moon energy, which is interesting because we just had a full moon lunar eclipse that I did not get to see. It was cloudy and rainy. Full moon energy. And where did my last card just go? Oh, here it is. Others. It was 70 degrees. 70 degrees. Is that allowed to happen in Alaska? I don't know anything. Self determination. It's interesting that self determination is here talking about commitment is what turns a promise into reality. Harvest arrival masks, personal celebrations, full moon energy, and others. Immediately with the others card, these are empty seats. It could be ancestral though. If there are others or just like spirit guides, like or other people who are not physically sort of present. Harvest and arrival together are gorgeous. And then the masks here with personal celebrations, it makes it feel more like a masquerade ball rather than like someone hiding their face. At least to me. Oof. Okay. I feel like this is because of personal celebrations and masks together, it does look a little like there's an energy of envy. And then others is again, it's like there's nobody there. With full moon energy though, full moon energy is interesting because as far as I know, and I don't know much, especially about lunation cycles, the full moon is when the speaking of harvest, the full moon is when the manifestation of whatever you put in for on the new moon comes in. It's like when the moon fills up and then when it starts to pour out. And at the full moon, it's the beginning of the outpour, which again fits the harvest and the arrival. But see, because harvest is here, right? This could be the arrival of the masked individual to the personal celebration. And so, with self determination here and commitment being here, it's almost this like if there's a goal or a vision that you have, it's like stick it out. I don't know if there'll be like naysayers or negative Neds or Nancys that come and try to in a not necessarily intentionally malicious way. Just be like, well, like, have you, like, do you have a backup plan? Is there something else that you want to do? Like, this isn't necessarily feasible. It's not really realistic. It doesn't happen for a lot of people. Like, what are you going to do if this doesn't work out? That's like being generous, I guess. Um, some people might just be like jealous or envious. What is that in Katy Perry swish swish? When Nicki Minaj is like, "Don't you try to double back? I already despise you. All the fake love that you showed me couldn't even disguise you." Um, it's like, because I feel like a lot of times, sometimes it's an outpouring of energy. So if you put energy into yourself, if you put energy into the things that you wish to make manifest, then that is what you'll reap. If you put your energy into what everyone else and what everything else is doing, especially in a way of like negatively comparing yourself to others, and it doesn't have to specifically be any kind of envy or jealousy, but it's like, if you put your energy in others, then others will reap the benefit of that energy. If we put our energy into other people in ways that don't in turn like build us up, especially in ways like if there's a malicious intention, it's like there's nothing positive for you to reap off of that. You don't move anywhere. We don't move anywhere. Nothing happens for us because that's not where our attention was. And so it's almost like, if you're coming into a season of personal celebration, then you don't have to cry at your party because everyone else is having a bad time or because someone else is having a miserable time. Because if you did whatever you need to do, then the full moon, like the turning out of that energy is going to give you whatever. We all have opportunities and chances to pour into ourselves and to better ourselves and to take opportunities. Sometimes we take them, sometimes we don't, for whatever reason. I wouldn't necessarily say, I mean, I don't. Ooh, that was quick. Who is this? It flipped all the way over. Entanglement. Oof. Healing is at the bottom, though. Healing and entanglement. So I guess if you find yourself in a situation in a place where you're improving, where you're doing better, where you're accomplishing and achieving the things that you want to accomplish and achieve, and there are others who you may consider close, you may not consider close. It could just be others. It may be showing you something about them, and then it'll be an opportunity for you to ask yourself whether or not you would want to keep in your life, in your circle, someone who can't celebrate you. And we did just have a full moon in Scorpio. It'll be an opportunity though. It's almost like the truth will be revealed, the mask will come off. Because even if you're wearing a mask, even if you're hiding your face, there are certain things that can still be read. And just like with the others that aren't seen here, I guess that could also be like spirit guides, ancestral protection as well. The ones who intercede on our behalf in ways that we can't see. That's not necessarily what I expected at all. I was like, oh, harvest arrival. Oh, that's gorgeous. And just like that could be true, the opposite could also be true. In that time, you may find the people who do celebrate you. There may be people in your life who maybe you thought didn't pay too much attention to you, or people who you thought didn't get it or didn't necessarily care. But it's like when you're having your personal celebration, then they come and they celebrate you too. So it would be a nice dichotomy. Um, Hopefully, it's more of that experience and less of the other one, but we all have the experiences that we have. Jealousy is the dream killer. Joy is the best fuel. Exactly. Ooh, let's get one more. Like one would be perfect. I'll pull this one. Synchronicities. There you go. What about synchronicities? Self love is at the bottom. Synchronicities and self love. I love this. And it feels like this is a reminder of commitment turning a promise into reality. It might kind of be a little sucky if you experience the not great side of that. People who you thought were supportive. And again, I always say that, not always, but sometimes I think it's helpful to remember that depending on the person and what they have going on inside of them, they can be encouraging and supportive and want the best for us, but they may have some kind of internal competition or whatever. And that's for anyone who will like celebrate you or support you as long as you are worse off than they are. Because there are some people where it's like where if you start to catch up in their mind, all of a sudden things flip and like things get nasty and ugly and competitive and they're saying this and they're saying that. And you're like, I thought like we were in this together. Like I thought you were supporting me. But that's just something that they have to deal with. That's something that they're going through that they got to learn. Um, you don't have to cry at your party. You can if you want to, but you don't have to. Because again, it's like it's not bypassing per se, but it is. It's like it's all about energetic returns. With that full moon energy, it's an energetic return. Where you put your energy, it'll return to you like a boomerang. So let's see. Let's pull a few more random cards. I'll just grab these to show some more, and then I'll shuffle, and then we'll see if something else comes out. We got medical intuition. This is hilarious. The medical intuition card, because I feel like I've been hearing people talk about like intuitive masseuses, intuitive energy healers, intuitive, all kinds of stuff. I just watched Rob's video with Dana earlier today because I don't know, things have been interesting, I guess, for lack of another word. Medical intuition. Baby. Oh, snap. Who having a baby? Path to love. Love that. Higher. Love that. Okay, all the good stuff. Like all the good stuff is coming out now. Ancestors. Okay. May you live well in the heart of your home until we meet again. Ancestors and guidance. Guidance after ancestors. Ancestral guidance is interesting when it comes to medical intuition. And in Rob's video with Dana, it wasn't Ayurvedic, but it makes me think of Ayurveda. Um, when it's like if there's and a lot of systems, it's not just Ayurveda, it's a lot, quite a few. It's like if there's a mental, emotional sort of thing that we're holding on to or that's going on, it can manifest a physical sort of symptom. Um, and so I don't know if it would necessarily be like a ancestral, not blockage, like a generational curse. If there's something that it's and like to sort of demystify it or to de-escalate it, it's just like if there's something that someone struggled with in whatever capacity, and then they have a child, if they don't know any different, if they don't know any better, if they can't resolve it within themselves, then it may get passed on to the child. And that child, not necessarily having it instilled into them, can pass it on to their child. And it's like at some point we have to bring in, we have to interject, we have to remedy the thing that just evaded everybody because for whatever reason they weren't able to sort of get whatever they needed. It could be patterns and habits that's passed down. It could be other things. It could be many things. But with the ancestral guidance after, oh, look, and then that's the baby. Medical intuition path to love higher ancestors. So if you got some lower ancestors, then we're not talking about that. Because I watched Rob's video with Danny yesterday or the day before. Too. Um, but it's just like when you remedy the thing, it's like now for all that come after you, that will be resolved. And so it's like it doesn't need to continue on any further. Then we have remote fortune. Oh, remote fortune. Is this like you getting money that you ain't even know? Somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody about to give you $1 million. I mean, I'll take it. I'm kidding, but I'll take it. That's a synchronicity that I wouldn't mind. Oh my gosh, somebody actually gave me $1 million. What? Ujima, collective work and responsibility. I know like Kuja Chakalia, Umoja, Imani, and that's like it. Ujima, another Kwanzaa candle. Ujama, cooperative economics. So we have collective work and responsibility and cooperative economics with remote fortune. So I guess that could be, it's like if there's something that you contributed to and somebody um, comes into some kind of fortune, I guess, and they're like, hey, like your contributions were invaluable. I really appreciate what you did. You may not even know potentially, but they're like, and to show my appreciation, I would like to X, Y, or Z. Um, Not even necessarily that. It could also be, since we are talking about like this sort of subtle connection, and connection was also a thing in Rob and Dana. Um, it's almost the energy of like when we can impact someone's life in ways that they don't even necessarily know. The remote fortune might not even be the person themselves. It's like good karma. It feels like good karma. It may come back to you in a different way. It may come back to you from someone else. It's very Six of Pentacles. And then we have transitions. And is it Naya or Nia? Purpose. I love that we are transitioning. Here in Illinois, we can girl, right away. I just gotta add in my 10-hour video. Excuse me? If I was asleep with a white screen on, let me stop. We're like transitioning from the green candles to the red. This is also a fall and autumny transitions, which again brings in harvest, but with purpose and constellations, this is interesting. Purpose and constellations, it's almost like it's what we do for each other. It's what we do for each other. Like you encourage and support me, I encourage and support you. We all win. We all take care of each other. We all celebrate and appreciate and admire each other. We all show and express that gratitude to each other. And it feels like that level of, it's like collective team building. It's like it's the one thing that unites. It's one of the things that unites many purposes. This could be different purposes that we serve within ourselves. This could also be broader purposes outside of just one individual. But it's like in a constellation, each star is different. And depending, like they can be in different spaces in the sky, but from a certain perspective, many miles away, and even more than that, when you zoom all the way out, you can kind of sort of see what connects all of them. And so it is a sort of bigger picture, smaller picture type of energy, where it's like it is bigger picture, but the bigger picture is made up of individual brushstrokes, right? Or pixels of color. The bigger picture is made up of smaller pictures. Um, and then we have solstice, earthing. I love all the gorgeous cards coming out right now. Try it, practice it. Try earthing. Have you tried earthing? Spirit crew, oh snap. Performance. Melting. Partnership. And animal connections. Oh, earthing was there. Solstice, earthing, try it, practice it, spirit crew, performance, melting, and partnership. Um, the energy here with try it, practice it, and performance, more so with performance and spirit crew. It's like it feels like many things are spiritual expressions. In some ways, everything is a spiritual expression. Um, I also love melting, and it's making me think of East. And East came out in a room yesterday. It was East Perth, maybe. I feel like it was another tree because I saw so many trees. Bjork? Was it Bjork East? I was like, I'm going to look for what's before and after Stankness and what's before and after Bifrost. It was East and Bifrost. And then something else. Bjork? I think it was East Bifrost and Bjork, maybe. It could have been something else. I don't remember. But it's interesting that it's melting the East because the Rainbow Bridge, the Bifrost, it was like this person is in position and extending an invitation to connect. Or this energy is in position and extending an invitation to connect. This other person is in position and is extending an invitation to connect. And those mutual positioning and invitations is what actually sort of those two anchor the Bifrost Rainbow Bridge to allow. And that came out a while ago. So maybe this it's a little bit about um you know what this reminds me of? I've never done it in real life. I know they did it on Bob's Burgers. It's something I see in media sometimes. It's like if there is a school and there's a guidance counselor at the school, and the guidance counselor is like, well, I've been to some things. It's like whenever there's a skit, a play, or a performance that handles some sort of a certain topic, that's usually performed in front of kids, teens, in front of non adult individuals to try to sort of like teach them something or expose them to something in a way to like give them tools to handle real life situations that maybe we don't necessarily talk about. So in Bob's Burgers, it was conflict resolution. Um, I've seen some. I actually did see some. It was like one of them was like, if there's something that you're going through, not sort of like taking that out on the people around you. And there's one line in particular. It was like a mother and a daughter, a mother and a teenage daughter, if that gives you any context. Uh, and the teenage daughter was like, too much like you. And that kind of sort of plays on maybe not it plays on the medical intuition with the higher ancestor guidance. Where it's like sometimes, especially from parent to child, but even outside of that, because we like attracts like in some ways. But also opposites also attract. So like, which is true. They're both true, I guess. Um, but it's like if there's something that a parent doesn't necessarily like about themselves, or if a parent, like if a person can be particularly difficult in a certain way, and then they have a child and their child is difficult in the same way or in a very similar manner and fashion, then it's like when we get frustrated and irritated with other people, it's different than, well, it can be different than when we get frustrated and irritated with ourselves. All of that aside, though, going back to the skit to the performance, okay, I was like, where did that come from? Um, It's more microcosm, macrocosm. It's like it feels like learning to find peace, learning to cooperate, learning to move forward with in certain areas on a smaller scale will be the performance for the greater audience that is the larger collective. So it's like if you have it's that, okay? As we work things out within ourselves, number one, and within or between each other, number two, like that sort of ripples out in the ways of connection, in the ways that we're all sort of connected, or in the ways that we're all little lily pads floating on top of the universal pool. And when something drops inside the pool and the ripple goes out, it moves those lily pads, right? The lily pads sort of like rock a little as the wave perpetuates through, transitions through the pond. And so, too, it's almost like if there's something that you struggle, it's almost like, so for me in particular, I will draw upon a particular experience for this one. I'm not going to tell you the specifics of it, but it's like if there's someone that you find that says something that resonates to what you believe, hope for, what you're manifesting for yourself, for the collective at large, and they're also on the same page, it's almost like if this one person or if these few people can get there, can see it, then it's infinitely possible that there are more, right? And so it's almost like know or see that as like it's a sign that it's possible, like it can happen. And maybe that'll be the seed of hope in a particular outcome. Or it's like, if there's something that you're trying to do within yourself and it's a struggle, but one day you just kind of sort of like it doesn't affect you as much, then it's like, maybe that is one of the first days of many. Or it's like that's the thing that can show you that it's not always going to be as difficult as it is in the moment. It will get easier. You'll get accustomed to it. Not to say that there won't be times where it's less easy, but it's just like know that it's possible because of like the small scale performance. I love these. I was I was a little like, oh, what is this with those numbers? But that was gorgeous. So loving that. Loving that. Ba, 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 da, ba, ba, ba. Fortune. Is that a dreidel? Oh my gosh, it's a dreidel and a snow globe. Dreidel, dreidel, dreidel. That's all I know. I think that's the dreidel song, right? It could not be. It could very well not be. I could be all the way wrong. Okay. I need to go to bed because I'm trying to go to work on time tomorrow. At first, I was like, "Ooh, I'm excited to like be sitting at my desk. I'm excited to do work that I can do at my desk." But sitting at my desk, I'm like, "I'm so tired. This is not comfortable. I don't want." I never thought I'd be the type of person that wanted a non-sedentary style job. I would have always thought I'd be content sitting at a computer for 8 hours a day, just tip tapping on a keyboard. But these past few days have been have said otherwise. Okay, let's get a few more. Oh, okay, thank you. That was a little extreme. Medical intuition flipped over inside of the deck. This is interesting though because it makes me think of the Sweat Lodge. Because I think it was when the Sweat Lodge and the Eagle and the Mystical Shaman and whatever the other card was that came out, as I think as I was putting away the Mystical Shaman Oracle cards, it was like, you know how like, oh no, that was not that. It was that, but it was not that. Because I remember it was like, you know how like they say that some dogs can like sniff out like cancers, or how certain animals can like detect certain illnesses in people. That was not necessarily great energy. But with medical intuition and the animal companions, I think came out earlier. It's just like the animals know what we need. And if animals know, or if animals have the capability to know, then we have the capability to know because we're also animals. It's just a matter of like attunement. Only one card fell out. I thought it would. I thought for sure it was more than one. Reem. I think it was in Reem's mandala reading. There was a certain point where she said she felt like it was for somebody who was watching live or for somebody who would watch later that had like a genetic or some kind of condition that goes through the family. And it was like you're wondering if you have it or if your child has it and you don't. Just like the medical intuition, the higher ancestors, guidance, and stuff. Golden opportunities is the card that had came out face down. And so medical intuition and golden opportunity is interesting together. It's also interesting because again, I watched the video with Rob and Dana earlier. And so I guess it's like if there's something that's going on and traditional Western medicine sort of isn't able to find an answer, then maybe consult somebody who can like give you a little bit of an intuitive. Is intuitive diagnosis a thing? Maybe not diagnose. It's like troubleshooting. The bottom of the deck is higher. Again. On the other hand, since times are sort of a changing, there could be a golden opportunity for someone in an intuitive medical area to become recognized in some way by the traditional medical system. And it makes me think, I think it's the Memorial Catering Center or something like that, because I saw a community post on Rob's page about, it was a while ago. I think it's before I started working, so it was a while ago. Might have been about 9 to 10 a year, 9 to 10 months ago. I don't know. Within the past year, about the studies that they had done on, I think it was like meditation being better than a placebo or something like that. Or maybe we'll just start seeing it a little more. Or maybe we should consider it. I don't know. Golden opportunity and medical intuition is interesting together. I think if this is within self, it would also be like an opportunity, or it would denote us having a more intimate connection with our bodies, being more in tune with the body, I guess, or being more in tune with the emotions, being more in tune with ourselves overall. Where it's like if there is a pain that will sort of like manifest in some way, then we would be able to go like, okay, is this physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, like where we'd be able to sort of like triage it within ourselves. And maybe that would help us to see or recognize something. It makes me think of the first one with the arrival of the masks to the personal celebration. I think, and I already lost it. Darn it. Was it the first one? Because I was talking about how we get to tune into and be a part of that subtle conversation between the bodies: mental, physical, emotional, etheric, energetic, auric, whatever. I don't know all the bodies. Um, oh, it's almost like it may highlight certain things that we weren't necessarily seeing. It may be something that's hard for us to sort of like catch, but something about what hurts and where it hurts and how it hurts, if we follow that thread and if we can find the blockage, it might be highlighting and illuminating. And when we take care of that, it might actually sort of open us up to be able to receive a bunch of opportunities. Maybe specifically related to some kind of medical intuition. Maybe someone becomes like a professional Reiki practitioner, professional, uh, where it becomes either like a side thing or a vocation or any other kind of medically intuitive health and wellness, excuse me, sort of thing. It may just to be changes to the medical health well-being system. Maybe not the system overall, but maybe. Um, yeah, I want to get one more. I'm trying to hold on to this tired so that I actually go to sleep at a decent time. Because if I go too long with being tired and not going to sleep, the tired goes away and then I can't sleep. It's like I get a second wind and then a third wind and then a fourth wind. And every time I'm like ready to go to sleep, I'm like, oh, like let me finish this last 10 minutes of this episode. Let me finish this level. And then by the time I finish, the sleep is gone. And I'm like, oh, well, guess I'll start another episode. But I'm trying to go in on time. Also, so I keep my phone by my bed like this, case open, not case closed, right? Because when my case is open, Siri can hear me. So I was asleep last night, and whenever I wake up, I ask Siri what time it is. So I know if I can like go back to sleep or if I need to get up. I haven't really been setting my alarm lately. I just ask Siri if like I should be awake and getting ready when I wake up more naturally, right? So anyway, I asked Siri one time. Siri said like 6 o'clock, 6:10 or whatever. I asked Siri another time. I'm like half asleep. And Siri said something. And then the third time I asked Siri, And I feel like I hear Siri say something, but again, I'm half asleep. So I'm like, let me ask Siri again because I don't remember if I actually said it or if I just thought I said it because I'm like half asleep. And so I wake up a little bit more and I don't hear anything. And I was like, let me reach over and grab my phone to see what time it is. My phone case was closed. So when I asked Siri what time it was and Siri said like 6:10 or whatever, I was basically asleep. I had to be dreaming because Siri didn't say anything. I was like, ooh, no, I can't afford this. Now I'm like, am I actually awake? Is it really this time or do I have to wake all the way up to check and see? I was like, no. My system, he's been having the same issue. Yeah. I'm like, oh my gosh. Because I really thought Siri told me what time it was, but it did not. I was too close to the realm of sleep and not enough in the realm of awake. Okay, so I'm just see the final card. Final card from the, I think it's just called the Winter Oracle. I'll have to link if I can. Excuse me, if I can find the community post in the description box, I will link it, and then you can check out Himi if you want. I know she goes live a lot, and she doesn't always keep the lives up, so I'll take this one. Is this synchronicities? Synchronicities. What is it? It's like he, the language of. Oh my gosh. Bottom of the deck is golden opportunity. Synchronicities and golden opportunity. I'm not mad about it. You know? Because that first energy, although it kind of sort of had a sour undertone because of others, because of some others, not all others, it was like harvest, personal celebration, stuff like that. I was like, oh, full moon, harvest, personal celebration, and full moon energy, synchronicities, and golden opportunity. This feels though, it's like, it feels like presence will help us find this golden opportunity. Because synchronicities and golden opportunity, it feels like many little things that kind of sort of like lead us somewhere, like breadcrumbing. And it's almost like maybe you get an idea, a thought, an inspiration, a pull, an intuitive urge, nudge to do something or to go somewhere. And it's like this happened and then that happened and this other thing happened and the next thing I know everything is working out. Or next thing I know I ran into this person and now golden opportunity because of those synchronicities. Under golden opportunity is fa la 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 la. Under fa la 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 la. I love this. Oh snap! Cut through representation. Yes, he be looking out. Appreciate that. Love that. Under the fa la 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 is again personal celebrations. Golden opportunity, fa la 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 la, personal celebrations, and the full moon energy under that again. So again, with the full moon, based off of what I know of lunation cycles, it's like when the moon is new, there are things that you do to bring in the manifestation. And then when the moon is full, if whatever quota has been met, that's when it manifests on the full moon. The intention that was sort of set on the new moon. And so that full moon energy, it feels like it's speaking of like something that we've not only wanted, wished for, desired, but also something that we've in some way worked for. Something that we've in some way worked for, yeah. Whether that work has just been like taking care of yourself, or that work has been like, healing, self-care, increasing our capacity to be able to receive the things that we're asking for, or that work has like literally been work. And it takes me back to that. It makes me think of that remote fortune again. Remote fortune plus synchronicities and golden opportunity. It's very like this happens. It's very dominoes. It's a domino effect where it's like one thing leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, leads to another, and at some point it all sort of wraps its way back to you. Um, I was gonna see if there is a full moon around Christmas because of the fa la 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 la. Oh, I do not own the rights to whatever that song, "Tis the Season." Uno momento. Let's go to Christmas. It's Christmas time all over the world. Hey, Christmas here at home. Excuse me. So, sun is in Capricorn, moon is in Aquarius. So, we're actually going to have a new moon Capricorn a few days before Christmas. New moon Capricorn on the 23rd of December. Okay. So, I would assume December 23 is fairly early. So, I'll assume that January 17 will be around when we have the full moon. Look at that. Literally January 17th. Oh no. Where is Saturn? Oh, Saturn is 13 degrees. Okay. Oh, that was 2022. Oof. I got to go to 2023. I got a little too excited. I'm sorry. I think I'm going to have my third Saturn return will be in January. So, um, that'll be fun. Oh, Venus will be there. Maybe it'll be here. Moon in Sagittarius. So we're gonna have a new moon Aquarius, like pretty early into Aquarius season. Let's go January 6th. January 6th is looking like it's actually gonna be, yeah. Is that on the dot? Yeah, January 6th is gonna be full moon Cancer. Mars will be retrograding in Gemini. Uranus will be retrograding Taurus. Jupiter will be back in Aries at that point because I think it's going to retrograde then go direct. The nodes are still Scorpio, Taurus. Mercury will be retrograde in Capricorn. Pluto will be direct in Capricorn. Venus will be in Aquarius. Saturn will be in Aquarius. Neptune will still be in Pisces. I don't know. I was just telling my coworkers today, literally earlier today. I was like, when I have kids, they're gonna get like 7 to 12 Christmases a year. Some days it's just Christmas in my world. I don't make the rules, I just celebrate them. So that was this. I love this like gorgeous magnetic box because when I did mine, I did not do it in a magnet. I did the little tin that y'all see. That was gorgeous. I think gorgeous times ahead. And again, with that full moon energy, it feels like an outpouring of whatever we set our intention to with our energy, time, effort, with our whole selves, minds, bodies, hearts, souls. Um, right? Thank you, Holly, for being here. It was fun. I'm glad that, it got a lot less after the beginning, but what did this say? Commitment is what turns a promise into reality. So, yeah, that makes sense with the full moon energy. The harvest, the full moon, the personal celebrations, the golden opportunities. Because commitment is what turns that promise into a reality. And if commitment turns a promise into a reality, it sounds like a promise with conditions. But a promise with conditions isn't necessarily a conditional promise. It's not like one of those, it's not like some kind of contract with fine print. It's like, if you do this, I will do that. You go to work, you'll get paid. You set the intention, I'll fill it. You place the order, I'll deliver it. And commitment and action doesn't necessarily feel super like do y. Um, the energy so far has felt more like in an internal space that we need to be in order to receive something. Right. It's like the piano. If you don't have any room in your place, your home, your apartment, your wherever you are for a piano, it's like it doesn't make sense to deliver a piano that you're not going to have any room for because literally, where is it going to go? Outside. It might as well stay where it is. Some things just require space. That's the best way. Some things just require a little space. So, with the arrival of the masks and everything, when it was like it's a question of who and what you want around you and in your life, um, if we find ourselves with space, it may be to not try to fill it too quickly, to allow, just like Tetris, to allow the block to drop into that perfect sort of space. Because sometimes if you're rotating it and increasing the drop speed a little too much, you may flip it one extra time and have it a little off center. And it's like, oh, I could have cleared 3 rows. I could have cleared 4 rows with that one long piece, but it accidentally ended up like this over here. And now I can't put anything in there. So I got to clear this row so I can clear the other rows anyway. All right. I will catch you when I catch you. Bye. I hope you're all having a good whatever you see this. I hope you're acting in alignment. Excuse me. I hope you're acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. I'll say that one more time. I hope that you are acting in alignment to make all that you wish to experience your reality. And I hope that whatever you need along your path, journey, and way, you find it. Even if I don't understand, even if somebody else doesn't understand, even if you don't immediately understand, I hope you find whatever you need to get you where you're going in a way that, like, kind of, at the very least, kind of makes sense to you. Because sometimes we might get something that we need and not know how or why we need it, so we don't know what to do with it. But I guess when the moment comes, when the time for that need arises, it will already be within your grasp to meet said need.